An answer to the cries of our people. That is what Uganda's parliament calls its controversial Anti-Homosexuality Act, which was signed by President Yoweri Museveni on Monday. It's one of the world's toughest anti-gay laws and calls for life imprisonment for anyone convicted of homosexuality. The law, supported by many in the East African nation, has been condemned by rights activists and others abroad, including the White House. U.S. President Joe Biden calls the law shameful, warning his government could impose sanctions. Meanwhile, rights groups worry Uganda's anti-gay laws could have a domino effect across the continent. VOA's Ignatius Annor has more.
Living openly as a trans woman has closed a lot of doors for me. It has taken a lot of things away from me. That's taken people away from me. I cannot live my life as a normal human being or as a normal Ghanaian who can walk freely on the streets, who can, partake in every other thing that any other Ghanaian can partake in. I can't go out to look for a job because nobody wants to employ me.
That was Angel Maxine, Ghana's first open trans musician, telling VOA about the effect of Ghana's anti-gay bill, which currently sits before Parliament. Maxine says while the bill, formerly known as the Promotion of Proper Human Sexual Rights and Ghanaian Family Values Bill, is yet to pass the legislature, its adverse impact is being felt among sexual minorities in Ghana. The bill will impose up to 10 years prison sentence on anyone who identifies as LGBTQI+, or even an ally. Amnesty International defines an ally as one who takes action to support a group they are not part of.
The bill that we're sponsoring is one that is responding to the growing threat to Ghana's culture and traditions by pro-Western forces and influences seeking to introduce things that are not acceptable by our culture. And until the people I represent in Parliament ask me not to, it's a bill I intend to see through to the end.
In Africa today, 32 states still criminalize same-sex relationships. That's half of the 64 countries with anti-gay laws around the world. Some, like Nigeria and Egypt, already have harsh laws making LGBTQI+ persons a target in their communities, activists say. President Yoweri Museveni on Friday, May the 26th, signed one of the harshest gay laws in the world, defying global outrage and potential sanctions. Now the Anti-Homosexuality Act, it has the death penalty for engaging in incest, having sex with a minor, or carrying the HIV virus. Activists have vowed a legal challenge. Richard Lusimbo is the Director General of Uganda Key Populations Consortium, a Kampala-based NGO.
The Constitution of Uganda is very clear on the rights of all Ugandans, and it's on this basis that we will be going to the Constitutional Court to seek legal redress, because when you look at the right to health, the right to belong, if you look at even employment, because again, within this law, if you are identified as an LGBT person, that could have lots of negative implications in terms of even how you can access work.
Both Uganda and Ghana have closed LGBTQI+ organizations known as safe spaces that support the mental health of community members. There are contentions in Kenya and Tanzania over LGBTQI+ rights.
I am an artist. I'm a very good one, a very good, talented artist. But nobody will want to collaborate or want to work or want to support or want to put in, into what I do just because I am a queer person.
This month, Speaker of Uganda's Parliament Anita Among called on the East African community to support other member states to fight what she termed, quote, immoral act in the community, end of quote, at a virtual meeting with her colleagues.
To identify with us in whatever we have done in order to protect the morals, the values, and the generations to come.
As such anti-gay sentiment rise, activists continue working to affirm the human rights of LGBTQI+ persons in Africa.
We've also been using our proximity to the United Nations. As I've spoken to you now about the Advocacy Week that we've hosted, we are part of the UN LGBTIQ core group, where we have access to politicians and diplomats there who can help us open paths for dialogue with lawmakers in countries where we are concerned about the LGBTQ community members' safety.
But not all is gloomy for the LGBTQI+ community or for allies. There have been efforts by some African states to roll back harsh laws against homosexuality, notably Angola, Botswana and Gabon, which reversed a law to criminalize homosexuality but made gay sex punishable by spending 6 months in jail and a huge fine. Ignatius, Annor, VOA News, Washington.